phrase beautiful losers is in itself an oxymoron. Oxymoron, a figure of speech in which apparently contradictory terms appear in conjunction. And the documentary, Beautiful Losers, exemplifies the definition by balancing beautiful artistic shots, alternative music, and thoughtful interviews with the ugliness and sadness that comes from the anxiety of the artist. I mean, human condition. Beautiful Losers was directed by Aaron Rose and co-directed by Joshua Leonard and released in 2008 by Sidetrack Films. The film takes us on a creative and chaotic journey through the lives of a group of several artists who inadvertently changed the art world by mastering do-it-yourself techniques due to the fact that the art they wanted to see was not available to them, not to mention their not so privileged backgrounds. The documentary engages the audience with creative and artistic shots that match the personality of the artist being interviewed, or set the mood for the next idea or topic. The shots are comprised of black and white 8mm reels, colorful animations, gallery openings, and artists working in their studio and environment. Half of the film is full of energy and movement, with skateboarding shots, art gallery openings in tiny spaces, partying, painting, and gatherings. It feels like the film wanted to show the vibrance of being young, starving artists in the early 90s, whose only goal was to create art. It's like I roll out of bed and I just turn on the microphone and suddenly I'm broadcasting to like 40 million people. The second half of the film slows down to show how the artists have matured into their voice and art medium. Their budgets and names might be bigger now, and the technology has definitely changed. Yet most artists still maintain their original voices, ideas, and even techniques. Their art has become stylized and mainstream, so to speak. The second part of the film balances the first half of the film in the sense that it shows the reality of life and how it affects everyone, even artists, especially artists. The soundtrack used in the film sets the mood and tone of the message behind the documentary. There is a lot of mention of the artists feeling like weirdos and outsiders, and the music matches those feelings of angst and feeling outside what is thought to be mainstream or normal. Throughout the film, the music changes from punk, metal, alternative, and electronica to folk acoustic music the same way we see the artists mature from teen artists to professional adult artists. Such artists featured in the film are Cat Power, Air, and Tom Waits. There's a theme all throughout the film that speaks to many artists, and that is to see the things from the point of view of a child. Most of the artists interviewed talk about how natural it is for children to create and to paint. And as we grow up, we lose that need to create. Being in an artistic collective has its benefits, as the film shows. Many of the artists interviewed have now achieved success in their respective fields. For example, Harmony Korine is the film director who wrote the screenplay for the movie Kids, as well as directed Spring Breakers and Gummo. Even though his films might not be mainstream or everyone's cup of tea, Korine has managed to show the world his point of view, his voice, and his art. Jack McFetrich has worked on visually creative campaigns like The Virgin Suicides, Adaptation, and Her, to name a few. Shepard Fairey created the movie poster for Johnny Cash's biography Walk the Line. He is also the creator of the Obey logo that has now become a background in our lives, not to mention the Obama's 2008 campaign Hope poster. I feel like this film was created for those who see the world through childlike eyes and only wish to create what is in their hearts, minds, and soul. Like an anthem for the weirdos who grow up to be creative artists whose only goal is to make art for the world. Something that stuck with me was when Mike Mills raised the question and idea: if you're not dispossessed, why make art? Which is a question I have taken away from this film. If there's a void in our lives, we try to fill it. the same way artists try to fill the void with their points of view and creative voices. Overall, Beautiful Losers is an oxymoron that shows the beautiful angst in a collective of artists whose only goal was to create what they were missing in the art world, but most importantly, fill a void too great to imagine.